Hi everyone. So today I thought I'd do a quick video just going over a couple of things really. One of which is going to be what is the best way to wash microfiber towels when you've had a full weekend of car cleaning like I have. And secondly, I thought I'd just go over a couple of the different types of towels and wash mitts that I use, just to clear up any confusion that other people might be having really. So the first question is, what is the best way to wash microfiber towels? So there are a couple of do's and don'ts really when it comes to washing towels. The first of which is you absolutely must only wash them if you're using a washing machine with a mild detergent, and absolutely don't use fabric softener. If you use fabric softener, it clogs up the fibres of the towel effectively and renders them useless. The second thing that you need to remember is that you really do only want to wash them on a low to medium temperature, so probably 30 degrees, 40 maximum really. Again, that can melt the fibres within the towel, which will again render them useless. The third thing to remember when it comes to washing microfiber towels is that they need to be washed on their own, i.e. with other microfiber products. So one of the worst things that you can do is put them in the machine with items that are made from something such as cotton, because then they'll become full of lint. So it's probably going to be a bit hard to show on camera, but the thing with microfiber towels is the different types of towel all effectively have different fabric consistencies, so they have different shapes of either loops or cross threads and stuff like that, and those very easily get clogged up with lint if you wash things with cotton. The other thing to bear in mind is I always try to wash heavily soiled towels separately, so things that you've used for light polishing or buffing and things like that should be washed separately to towels, for example, that you might have cleaned the wheels with. If anyone has any specific questions around washing microfiber towels, please leave them any questions that you have in the comments section below. The second thing we're going to talk about today is a couple of the different types of towel that I would typically use and what I would use them for when it comes to car cleaning. I'll leave some links in the description below. All of these things are relatively inexpensive to buy, and you'll get much better results if you use these types of towels than if you'd use, let's say, chamois leathers for drying or microfiber dusters for buffing. So we'll start with the cloths we've got here, which are basically standard, everyday, available from the pound shop microfiber dusters. And what I typically use these for is they're no good for buffing really or drying. They're not big enough for drying and they're not soft enough for buffing. But what I would use them for is door shuts and things like that. So areas where you can get away with using a cheap towel, maybe alloy wheels, drying them off, or door shuts. The second thing that we've got here is the different types of wash mitts that I would typically use. So there are lots of different types of wash mitts available. Obviously what you don't see here is a normal car sponge. That's an absolute no-no. So you need to be going with wash mitts, but there's lots to choose from. So the first one we've got here is a Maguire's lamb's wool wash mitt. It has a nice, safe but abrasive back if you were trying to get rid of stuck bugs, grime and stuff like that. And the front has got a really thick pile that will really trap that dirt in to make sure that you're not sort of imparting any scratches on your car. Like I say, it's down to personal preference. The reason this one was used at the weekend is because my other half was helping me and it fits a little bit better on her hand because it's a bit smaller. The one thing to remember is that this is obviously not microfiber, so it won't be going in the machine with the rest of the towels. The next one we're going to look at here is what's commonly referred to as a sort of noodle wash mitt. So it's microfiber, thick pile noodles on the front with a mesh on the back for, again, removing stub and grime, bugs. These are really cheap, really inexpensive. You can get them from Amazon. I'll include a link below. And I typically would use these for the wheel just because they're so cheap. I don't prefer them as much for doing paint work. Again, that's just personal preference. But yeah, so I typically do the wheels with those. The next one I'm going to show you is my go-to wash mitt for doing the paint work. I generally use two per vehicle, so one to do the top of the car, another one to do the bottom where it's generally a little bit more dirty. Microfiber again, really thick pile. I've never had any problems with these, other than if you obviously dropped it on the floor and it became caked in grit, at which point you should stop using it. I've never had any problems. They do release muck quite well when you're rinsing them in your rinse bucket. They trap the dirt in there really well to make sure that you're not imparting any scratches on your vehicle, and I think they cover quite a large surface area, so you can put your hand inside them. Some people prefer to just hold them and use them as if you were using a standard sponge. Next type of towel that we're going to go over are the towels that I would typically use for buffing or finishing, or where I'm wanting to go over any sensitive areas, and these are edgeless, really thick plush microfibre towels. So they look a little bit strange if you've never used them before, because as the name would suggest, there is no edge, so they are soft all the way around. So you can get a couple of different sorts of these. So as you can see, these have the exact same pile on both sides, or you can get some that have a different pile on one side to the other. Typically I'd really use the thick plush side when I'm doing buffing. I generally get through quite a few of these towels. I do like to change towels regularly when I'm cleaning vehicles. The best way to use towels is always, as anybody will tell you, is to make sure you're using the towel while it's folded. So you can fold the towel over into four, go over a couple of panels, flip the towel over, use a different side. Once you've used all the sides, throw it in the washing pile and use another one. Like I say, these are really inexpensive. I'll include links below, so it's worth having a good few of them to make sure that you never run out halfway through a job. The next towel that we're going to look at is microfibre drying towels. So a lot of people will either leave their car to effectively drip dry, end up with horrible watermarks everywhere unless you live in an area where you've got really good water, in which case you're very lucky, or will use a chamois leather, which for me is also a big no-no. So I'm going to film a separate video on the best way of drying a car. However, for me, without using a really expensive solution such as compressed air or a blower or something like that, the cheapest way to dry your car effectively is with a microfibre drying towel. So I can't remember where this one's from, but a lot of the towels I use are from a company called Kent. They're generally around 5 square feet in size, really thick and plush, and surprisingly you will find that you generally don't have to wring these out very often. So like with a chamois leather, you'd have to wring it out quite a few times doing one car. I can just about do a full car with this towel without the need to wring it out. I'd also use this towel for if I'm using sort of a drying agent. So I covered on a separate video using a product called Bead Maker that can be sprayed onto a wet paintwork. So you'd spray that on, go over with one of these towels first to remove a lot of the excess water and the product that you've just applied, and then I would then finish with one of the buffing cloths that we've just gone over. So 2 drying towels used this weekend. Like I say, I could do a full car with one. Once you've done a car, put it in the wash pile and go on to finally then to generally get through quite a few general car cleaning microfibre towels. So they don't look and feel that much different to what you would commonly refer to as probably a duster, microfibre duster really. They're a little bit bigger than what you'd be probably used to cleaning your house with. They generally also have a slightly thicker pile, also probably a little bit better quality than you typically get from something that you'd bought for using with Mr. Sheen or something like that. But I'll generally get through lots of those, and the sort of thing you're going to use those for is cleaning wheels that aren't too heavily soiled, door shuts. Maybe you'd use a couple of them for the interior. I try to keep the interior and exterior ones separate if I can. But any general work where you want to use a microfibre towel really. So really versatile product. You can get through loads of them, really cheap. And then once you've washed them, they're good to go again. So that's just a quick overview of the towels I've used this weekend really. I know when I first started detailing, it can be a little bit confusing, all the different types of towels, what they're used for. Everybody has their own way of doing things. A lot of these types of videos are just based on opinion really. There's no real right or wrong way of doing things. Again, thank you for watching. This is a new channel. This is only the second video for the channel. So if you thought this video was helpful, please do like and subscribe. And any feedback, negative or positive, please leave in the comments below. Thank you.